Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. As you can see, I'm not in the gym, so I'm not working out today, but I do have an idea for a video, and I'm gonna watch some professional guys do some powerlifting, specifically deadlifts today, and I'm gonna compare my videos to what they're doing, and I can see if I need to fix my form, what I can do better, get some tips along the way. So if you guys are new or wanting to get into powerlifting, or even an already established powerlifter, you should still watch this video, see what tips the professionals say, and let's see if we can learn something together through it. Let's go.
One of the key points for a good deadlift is technique. I developed a hate-love relationship with deadlifts. When I had a good deadlift session, that was cool, but whenever it was getting rough, then my technique was all over the place, my back was hurt, and I wasn't really able to train deadlifts with a lot of consistency.
Yeah, the thing about that back hurting was a huge turn off for deadlift for me. Like I didn't start deadlifting and really until now, and I've been in the gym for about 2 years. I've done bench and I've done squat. The deadlift and the lower back, the fear of lower back pain, that's the reason why I was staying away for so long. So I wasn't really trying to get into that. So what he's saying about having good technique and being consistent with it is absolutely true. I want to have that, so that's why I'm going through this video right now. I want to get the good technique. But yeah, let's get back to the video.
First, with the pull. One of the biggest beginner mistake you'll see on the deadlift fails video is the guys deadlifting aren't really able to pull onto the bar. You need to be able to pull properly the bar.
So I kind of heard what he said about pulling the slack out of the bar. I kind of understood that as just getting your arms straight and pulling the slack out of your arms and not the bar itself. So I think I've been doing that wrong. Maybe I could play a clip of me doing it, but let's see what he's talking about with that.
And in the powerlifting world, that's what we call pulling the slack out of the bar. So that's a bit fancy, but at the end of the day, it's just pulling onto the bar. So how do you pull the bar? Basically, what you want to do is you want to be above the bar. Once you're in that position, you want to straighten your arms as much as possible, because having your arms straight will prevent two things. First, it will prevent biceps injury. As you can see in some deadlift videos, some athletes have some bicep tear. One of the main reasons as to why is because they have some sort of flex in their elbows, and obviously if you have your elbows flexed, it means that your biceps are really well engaged in the movement.
Yeah, that thing about the bicep tear you said, that's why I do double overhand, because I'm not trying to tear no biceps. That's gonna set me back way too far as a natural guy trying to compete in bodybuilding or powerlifting. Any tears, trying to stay away from.
In order to prevent that from happening, you just have to strain your arm. And if you do so, you prevent 99.9% of your bicep tear injury on deadlifts. So instead of having your arms flexed at the beginning, you really want to have your arms as straight as possible. And that will allow for a good back engagement into the movement.
That's one thing I think I need to do better with my deadlifts, is engaging my back. With the bending of the bar, I don't think I do that. I think I just go straight into it and try to lift up while my arms are straight. I think I can get more power. I'll play a couple videos right now, you can see what I'm talking about. But I think I'll get more power if I do engage my back before I start pulling the bar and getting that hip drive in there too. But he'll talk about that in a second.
You want to bring the bar close to you, and by bringing the bar close to you, what you want to do is imagine you're closing the distance, closing the gap between your arms, your tricep, and your lats. So basically you're closing your armpits. With this position, you've now successfully engaged your back at the beginning of your deadlift. And now in that position, you just want to pull for the bar to break the floor.
I was actually lifting at the same time as one of my coworkers the other day, and he was doing deadlifts, and he was like, my lower back, I feel it, man. But I watched him do it a couple times, and I was like, oh bro, you're rounding your back, your back's not engaged, and I think your hips are not pushing forward, and that's what he's talking about with the hip. You need to have that hip extension so it would take the stress and the load off of your lower back, which is why a lot of people have lower back injuries. They're lifting with that lower back and not knowing how the movement is supposed to be. It's like a hip hingement, and I think that uses more of your hamstrings and glutes. So if you can recruit your hamstrings and glutes into your deadlift to avoid pulling in too much of the lower back, then that will make your lift explode. I think he'll go more in depth into it in a second.
Properly your hips on a deadlift, you need to master what we call the hinge. One of the best ways to understand how to do a proper hinge is by doing what we call a wall touch. Basically, start a couple of centimeters off of a wall, usually 1 foot distance. From there, you want to slightly bend your knees and imagine there is a line separating your body in two parts. One part from the hip and above, and one part from the hip and below. Then, while maintaining your back neutral, you want to bend your torso over, while at the same time reaching for the wall with your butt. If performed correctly, you should feel a lot of tension in your posterior chain, so basically your glutes and your hamstrings.
That's actually a genius way to learn how to do it. I might have to incorporate that into some type of warm-up before I do the deadlift, so I can try to engage my glutes and hamstrings before I start doing these things. But that's a great way to do it. It's a great way to think about it.
Do is first create some sort of tension in my posterior chain when I set up, like I said, because the hips is like one of the main contributors to your deadlift. And before I push into the ground, before I go 100% with my hips, I want to initiate the pull. So like I said, I pull the slack out of the bar, I engage my back, and then almost at the same time, like with a 0.1 second difference, I really want to have both of those aspects at 100% of my strength capacity. So don't start by just pulling the slack, don't start by just pushing into the ground. You want to have a combination of both that happen at 100%.
After looking at some of my deadlift videos, it looks like I'm doing it in like a two-part movement instead of having it fluid. Like he says, when I come up, I'm bringing the bar off the ground, and then after that, you can see that I'm trying to push my hips out, and then I don't think I'm even getting set at the top of it. I think I'm kind of just like going into it, and I need to slow down on like the weight, on going up in weight with this, because I think I'm just going up too fast, and I need to focus on the form. If I look at it, it's really not, it's not perfect, it's not pristine like I want it to be. So I'm definitely have to go back and do some of the tips and tricks in this, like he's talking about in this video, see if I can get down the pull and the push, where the pull and the hinge that he's talking about in this video. Hey guys, thanks for making it to this point of the video. It's time for drum roll, please. The verse of the video. Okay, so today's verse, we got Matthew chapter 7, verse 7 through 12. And it says, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds. And to the one who knocks, the door will be open. Which of you, if your son asks for bread, would give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, would you give him a snake? If you then, though you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him? So in everything, do to others what you would have to do to them. For this sums up the law and the prophets. Okay, whereas for me, first of all, at the end of that verse, you get the golden rule. That's what that comes from. It comes from the Bible, Matthew chapter 7, verse 12. So, do unto others as you would have to do unto yourself. So that's really just treating everybody with kindness and respect. And I think that's what a lot of people want to base their lives off of. It's like something you can apply to your life and apply to everyone